Now, the Royal Navy is closely monitoring a Russian spy ship after it was spotted around UK waters earlier this week for the second time in 3 months. So what on earth is going on? Let's bring in defence, security and military analyst Simon Diggins. It's always good to see you, Simon. Thanks for joining us.
That's okay.
We had a submarine that was sent to the area, one of ours, and warned the Russians off. What are they up to?
What they've been doing is spying on our undersea infrastructure, whether it be gas pipelines, internet pipelines, and everything that goes there. We're very much connected to the continent in terms of those things. And what the Russians have been doing is observing this. When this submarine warned them off last November, they were right over one of our areas of critical infrastructure. And that matches the other activity in other areas, including, as we know, attacks on, or presumed attacks by Russians using proxies on similar infrastructure in the Baltic, which took place. One of the attacks took place on Christmas Day. So this is they've identified an area of key vulnerability for the UK, and they're working out how they could attack it in the future.
Generally, we don't like people knowing where our hunter-killer, are they? The submarines are. Yeah. So we must have thought it was sufficiently serious in order for its position to be made aware to the Russians.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the description of the Ministry of Defence was this was unprecedented, and I think that's a very good word. I mean, normally you try and use a patrol vessel, as they're doing at the moment. The same vessel, the Russian vessel, the Yantar, is currently moving through British waters and is being guarded by and shadowed by surface vessels. But when it surfaced when the submarine surfaced in November, that was, as you say, an unprecedented thing to do. But they were right over, as I understand it from the reports, a critical part of our infrastructure.
OK. And what would have happened? I mean, obviously you weren't there, but how would those communications have gone?
They're remarkably polite. I mean, the John Healey reporter said that good morning, but actually the same thing happens in the air. Russian aircraft are continually probing UK airspace, and there's a sort of code of conduct between both sides. There are common channels, radio channels, which they can communicate with each other, and these exchanges are very polite. They're very clear, but they're very polite. And I think they're making very clear to them that it was time to move on from where they were. And as I understand it, when the submarine surfaced, wished the crew of the Yantar good morning, and then the Russian crew moved out the area pretty quickly. So I think that was the message was got across very clearly, but politely.
And why do you think we would have used a sub rather than a patrol vessel?
Well, that might well be because we had nothing else available. I mean, that's the real worry. I mean, one of the things that we've got is this issue that John Healey actually was honest about in November when he said that UK can't defend itself. It may well be the specific things about what the Yantar was actually doing, but it may well be the only vessel that was available. And that points to a fundamental critical deficiency in our defence. We know we're not spending enough money on defence, but we can't even defend our homeland at the moment. And that seems to me to be an absolutely essential prerequisite of a safe and secure country.
OK. Simon, always great to see you, as I said. Thank you very much. Thank you.
My pleasure.